Hi everybody, welcome back to Hildy's Cafe. I'm Hildy. You know what I find goes well with a good cup of coffee? Donuts. So today I'm going to walk you through a really easy recipe, gluten-free recipe, with your favorite donut holes. They're going to be cinnamon sugar. Oh, they're going to be so good. They're not going to be light and fluffy like a cake or a yeast donut. They're going to be more like a cake donut. So let's get started without any further ado. In here, crazy fingers. In here I've got 2 eggs, and we are going to mix them thoroughly so there's no white showing. Just get them a good, nice mix like if you were going to make scrambled eggs. And you don't have to use a mixer for this recipe. You can use a hand blender for the first part, but I don't have a hand blender at all. All I have is this KitchenAid, and it's worked great for me in the past. So we have our eggs in, and to that, oh, please remember all your ingredients need to be at room temperature. And to that, we're going to add 3/4 cup of sugar. And then 1 cup of sour cream. Oh, let me take this off so it makes it easier for me to loop everything into this bowl here. And there is your 1 cup of sour cream. And then we're going to add 3/4 cup of buttermilk. If you do not have buttermilk, I didn't have any on hand. Take a 3/4 cup of whole milk and add 1 to 2 teaspoons of vinegar. 1% milk won't work really well, but 2% will work just fine. I use whole milk because you notice I'm a little on the skinny side, so I drink the full fat stuff just to maintain my weight. All right, after we do all this, we are going to mix and mix this until it's really airy. And I'm not going to talk a whole lot because the mixer is so loud. All right, so this is all I need from the mixer. The rest of the recipe, we're going to use our good old-fashioned muscles. And I think I'm going to stir with my left hand because I had a big session at physical therapy today. Oh my goodness, my shoulder is so sore. Because I'm doing so well, they're pushing me and see what my limit is, and I guess I'm crushing it. And I'm okay with that, you know. There's nothing like excess than overdoing it, is there? All right. To this, we are going to add 3 cups of gluten-free flour. Now, if y'all don't remember from my other episodes, my favorite flour for most of my recipes is King Arthur flour. King Arthur, if you need a sponsor, look to me. I will sing. Hi everybody again. Sorry for that video blip. I hope I can save that first portion. We've already mixed the eggs, the milk, the sour cream, buttermilk, the sour cream, and the sugar into the mixing bowl. We dumped in our 3 cups of flour. And for this recipe and most of my other gluten-free recipes, I really love King Arthur flour. So King Arthur, if you're watching, again, I'm your gal. So we have the flour in there, and to that we are going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, If you're out of nutmeg, you're out of cinnamon, just use mace instead. It's a really good replacement. Or you can use vanilla or whatever spices you enjoy. This goes really well with a cup of coffee like I mentioned before. And then you're going to add a half a teaspoon baking soda, 1.5 teaspoons baking powder, and then a half a teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to stir this by hand until it becomes a nice, good looking batter. It should be, well, sort of should be like cookie dough. While I'm stirring this, I would like to give a shout out to my best shipmates, Aim. Aim, if you're watching this, I hope you are healing from your ankle surgery. I'm sorry I'm not out in California to help out. I'm here in the frozen tundra of Michigan. Yes, my best shipmate, as you already know, I served in the Navy. Loved it. I was good at it. Too bad I couldn't stay in for too long. I got hurt and put me out on retirement. But Aim, everyone out there is wishing you happy, healthy, and good luck with that ankle repair that you had done this week. Yeah, I had to switch hands. The shoulder was getting sore. And it's kind of awkward to do it one-handed. But if the first part of the video doesn't show, all your ingredients need to be at room temperature. We had 2 eggs, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup or 1 cup of sour cream, and 3/4 cup of buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk on hand, like I didn't have any buttermilk, just mix 1 teaspoon or 2 teaspoons, depending. I guess on the milk, for me it worked out with whole milk with just 2 teaspoons. My mom's recipe says 1, but I found 2 is a good substitute for buttermilk. You can also use lemon, but in this recipe the lemon would give this a little bit too much of a citrusy taste, and we don't want that with the cinnamon and the nutmeg. Not in this recipe anyway. Well, now that this is all mixed, I'm going to pause the video while I get my oil up to temperature. It's almost there, and I need to readjust the camera so you can see what I'm doing over there, and my back and my fanny aren't in your face. Be right back. Hi, welcome back. I made a few minor adjustments to the camera so you can see what I'm doing on the stove. Our oil has come up to temperature, which should be at 350 degrees. Today I'm using vegetable oil. You can use canola oil or any other light oil. I wouldn't suggest avocado oil, coconut oil, grapeseed, I said olive oil, and especially don't use motor oil. It leaves a funny film on your teeth. But I'm going to lower the camera so you can see what I'm doing. And I let the donut dough rest for, about 10-15 minutes. That's about how long it took for the oil to get up to temperature. Let's make sure it is there, and I'm not mistaken. Yep, we are right at 350. Fantastic. Put that in the wash. All right. The directions say to drop it by spoons, but I find this works a whole lot easier. See how the dough got kind of light and fluffy? It's from the buttermilk and the baking soda all kind of marrying together, but since I didn't have buttermilk, I used whole milk and some vinegar. That makes for some really happy scientific things going on in here. But you're going to drop these by little spoonfuls. Careful not to crowd your pan. If you don't have a cast iron Dutch oven, a heavy bottomed pan would do just fine. Or if you have a deep fryer available, you know, those little daddy fryers, that would be great. We're going to drop a few in here. And they're going to sink to the bottom, but pretty soon they're going to rise and float right to the top. Oh, I forgot to mention, you can also use peanut oil in this recipe as well for your frying. There we go. They all came up. Now what I like to do to make sure they're all even coated is just kind of move them around the pan. You don't want to slosh and make a whole lot of waves because you wind up visiting your nearest burn unit. I'm not saying I know that from experience. It's just something I've read. See how lovely these are starting to take shape? They're getting brown. They only take maybe 3-4 minutes depending on how big you make them, how big your spoon is. I'm sure if your spoon was as big as Paul Bunyan, they might take like 2 or 3 hours to fry up. But since we aren't Paul Bunyan and we're just us regular folks, it takes about 3 or 4 minutes. I like keep moving them around, and just because, you know, spheres have a hard time being flipped. They'll always find the heavy edge and poke themselves upright like an iceberg. So if you just keep moving them around, they'll cook evenly. And you want a nice, deep, dark, golden brown, almost to the point where it looks like, oh, it might be a little burnt, but it's not. It's just the sugar and then the way the rice flour works in these gluten-free blends. Oh, these look really, really good. They're almost finished. Now you don't have to stir them as fast as I do. I just have 2 speeds, you know, on and off. Look at these little balls of doughy goodness. Oh, I'm getting so hungry. Do you like not seeing my face on video? Let me know down in the comments. I think I might have a face for radio, but you know, everybody has their own opinion. These are just about finished. Now I've set up a baking sheet, and since I don't have a regular drain liner, I'm just using one of my cookie sheet coolers here. It works just fine. Oh, see how nice and yummy they're looking? All right, I believe they are done. Let's pull them out of the oil and let them drain just for a couple of minutes on this paper lined baking sheet. Turn the heat down just a little bit just to maintain that 350-degree temperature. I'm still getting used to this whoopsie daisy. Almost had a disaster. All right, now they are all done. Now what we're going to do is get your cinnamon sugar. There it is. And you're going to take a couple of balls. You're going to put them in your cinnamon sugar. Roll them around. All right. Oh, this looks so good. I can't wait to tear into these. I'm pretty darn hungry. I've been waiting for a yummy snack. You know, gluten-free donuts are hard to come by. You see how this goes? You just keep putting them in the cinnamon sugar. How many of you remember or still enjoy cinnamon sugar toast with a glob of butter? Well, put the butter in your toast first, then sprinkle it with cinnamon sugar. Oh my goodness. That was a favorite hit at our house when we were kids. But I'm sure any kid's household was always filled with sugar plum dreams and sweet thoughts all the time. Well, while I'm finishing these up, why don't you minimize your screen and hit that like button. Comment down below if you want to see me do something or make something or test something out. Hit the subscribe button. It's free. Hit that bell notification. You'll never miss a silly episode from me. Oh, these are still a little hot, but I can't wait. I want to get right into these. Oh, look at this. Doesn't that look good? Nice and fluffy, airy. These are good cake donut. Pairs perfectly with coffee. Oh, you probably want to see me chow on this, don't you? All right. Here we are. Donut. Oh my goodness. Tastes just like when I was a kid. The outside is crispy. It's cinnamon sugary. The inside, very similar to a sour cream cake donut. The warm cinnamon, that nutmeg. Taste just a little bit of that tang of the vinegar and the milk, or if you made it with buttermilk, you would be able to taste that. Oh, that's a good flavor. Oh my goodness. That is so good. Well, I hope you join me again next time for another wacky episode of Hildy's Cafe. And please stay safe. Be careful out there. Be nice. It's not hard just to be nice to each other. I mean, we don't know what each other's going through, and so nice is probably the best option. Until next time, everybody, thanks a lot for watching. Like, subscribe, bell notification. Hit me up for a comment. I'm not running out of ideas of what to make, but if there's something savory that you want to see me do, please do. There's not much anything that I can't work into a gluten-free recipe. Until next time, take care. Bye.